Good morning. I'm talking into my phone so I'm not too loud. It's 4 a.m. I'm trying out a 4 a.m. writing routine. This is my first day of it, and I'm doing this because I've got a second job, like a part-time job that I work in order to supplement the writing money. And because of a lot of factors, it requires me to be starting work at 4 a.m. Up until recently, like over the last couple of months, which is how long I've had the job for so far, I've been waking up only early on the days that I have to go in, and I don't think it's working, and I don't think it's healthy. So I'm trying this month to wake up early every day, and on the days that I'm not doing work, I will be writing. So we're gonna do that. As far as what we're writing today, we're going to do a little bit of plotting, of planning a novel. The Project Caramel Latte novel that I finished writing is supposed to be the first in a series, and so I'm kind of starting to plan the next book that will be coming, which is going to be called Project Pumpkin Spice Latte, because that's what I do. So we'll work on Project PSL a little bit. We can do this. All right. So I thought I would just show you the whole day routine as far as like work hours is concerned. And my work hours are starting at 4. So 4 a.m. I was doing some plotting. I've been trying out using Milanote for plotting. I still haven't decided whether or not I like it, but I have been finding it quite easy for brainstorming phases, of being able to move information around as you try to figure out where certain scenes will fit into the overall plot. Making character relationship maps, which is particularly useful for mysteries and things like that. So I kind of have been playing around with it, and I think it's working out. about 6:30 would be when I would normally be waking up. It's also when my husband has to start getting ready for his job, where he's got a very typical 9 to 5, has to go into an office. So I spend a little bit of the morning helping him get ready because he actually has to be somewhere, and also just kind of making us tea. And one of the things that I always really like to do in the morning is we just sit together on the couch watching something, and I doodle in a journal. Nice little creative practice to start the day off. At about 8 o'clock, my husband would be going off to catch a bus, and I decided to leave at the same time in order to go for a morning walk. I really like going for morning walks. I'm not very consistent with it, admittedly. I'm hoping that this 4 a.m. schedule, I can be a lot more consistent with it, and leaving with my husband in the morning would be an incentive. It's a time to mark that I can leave by. So yeah, I find the exercise really useful, and it's also very helpful for keeping awake and feeling a bit more active. So highly suggest a really nice morning walk if you can manage it. Coming back home from the walk, I changed clothes, took a shower, all that kind of stuff, and started making myself second breakfast. I decided that if this schedule is going to stay, I'm gonna have to have 2 breakfasts. I need food as soon as I wake up in the morning, so I had some toast at 4 a.m., but I was hungry by 10, so I made myself a second breakfast, which meant that at about 10 o'clock I was settling in to do some more work. I just had to do a little bit of admin-y kind of work when you're doing any kind of self-employed anything. There's a lot of admin associated with it. At about 11:30, I realized that I had some library books that were overdue. They were due like a couple of days ago, and I still hadn't turned them in. And I don't know when I'm going to get around to it this week, so I decided, why not get up, go for another walk, and drop the books off, and maybe while I'm out, I'll go to a coffee shop, surprise, surprise, and work on a little bit of an academic article that I need to be writing and working on. But you are going to see my face as I realize that I forgot the drive that I am storing the academic article on. So instead, I decided to do more plotting because why not? I was there, it was something fun to do, and still made me feel like I was being at least vaguely productive. about 1 o'clock-ish, I was settling back in to do a little bit more work. I have been trying to get a pop culture bestiary to be picked up by a publisher. It's been an idea that I've had for a little bit, and I've been kind of creating sample chapters for, and over the last couple of weeks, I've been starting to send out to publishers. I sent out the first batch about 3 weeks ago. I've been busy with querying the fiction book and stuff, so I kind of fell off being consistent with the bestiary. So today I am going through and grabbing a few more publishers that might be interested in the bestiary in order to submit to. And I managed to submit to one more while I was doing this. All right, it is just about 3 o'clock. And I think that's gonna be it for work today. So I'm going to spend the rest of the day just kind of reading books and journaling and, I don't know, maybe playing a video game or something. For people who are interested in the sleep schedule of it all, I'm planning on going to sleep at around 10. No later than, but preferably like right at 10, which would give me like 6 hours of sleep. Which I think is roughly what I need. I used to be on a schedule where I would go to sleep at midnight and then wake up at 6 or 6:30, and that worked really, really well for me. So I'm hoping that even though the time has shifted, the amount that I'm getting will be enough. As far as the writing of it all goes, I actually really enjoyed it today. I'm also not feeling too tired now. It was miserable when I first woke up, but I'm actually feeling pretty good now and rather awake, which I think is good. I haven't felt awake in a while because my schedule has been so up and down. So I'm hoping that this will kind of help to start equalizing things a little bit, which will be good. But I think that having that like 2 hours to spend working on my fiction was actually really nice. I am primarily a nonfiction author. That's where most of my energy goes. So whenever I do spend time working on my fiction novels, it feels like I'm kind of playing, and even though there's an attempt to make this an actual thing in my life, it does feel a bit gratuitous rather than my actual work. So it was nice to have the energy and the time to spend on that and not feel guilty about it because it was like before work hours. So having that 2 hours before was actually really nice. It also, the time of it kind of made it feel like I was more inclined to like creative energy. I don't know how to explain it. Like when everybody's asleep and it's dark and there's like nothing else that I can be doing except just listening to music and plotting out a novel, it somehow really worked for me. So yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. Granted, this was day one. So I have found that when I change my schedule dramatically, I tend to be okay the first day or two because it's like my body's in a type of overdrive of adrenaline of like, oh yeah, we need to be awake weirdly for some odd reason. But then when it starts getting into the actual cycle of it, so in about 2 weeks from now, I might start feeling really different because my body will start going, oh, this is what we're doing? So I'll see how I am at that point. So I'm planning on doing this for about a month, roughly, and then kind of see how I feel as it progresses. So yeah, I think we'll just see how it goes. Let me know if you want like a check-in video to do kind of maybe in April as like my last bit to see whether or not I'm going to be doing it again if you're interested. But yeah, I think this is at least for the foreseeable couple of weeks what my schedule is going to be like. Oh, that's my alarm to stop work. So I'm going to stop work. Thank you for hanging out with me and going on this little like new schedule adventure that I was on, and plotting with me and running errands and writing and submitting manuscripts and all of that kind of stuff that I'm doing today. If you liked this, do all the YouTube stuff, you know the drill, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!